action as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things also going in Vitality's favor is how quick the average games have been at Worlds this year. With the game times being much quicker, they have really found success in that, quick play style and getting those kills.
Absolutely. They are true to the name Vitality, adding a little bit of life to the love that's coming for the EU fans here in their gameplay. Now into the bans here. Phase 1 of our first game of the day, Team Vitality versus Royal Never Give Up. And we are already seeing Alistar, Xayah, and LeBlanc on that ban list.
So just before the game, we were looking at the standard first picks so far during group stages. We have Xayah, Alistar, Kai'Sa, and then we have Urgot. Those are the 4 normal first picks that we get almost every single time. There's been 3 games where we didn't get one of those 4 as a first pick, and now 2 of them are gone. So we're thinking Kai'Sa, Urgot already.
As an interesting note too, since we're ending the group today, this is technically like week 2, and this is where teams would make big adjustments from the first round robin in the group and their learnings and their takeaways. So I've seen multiple interviews with individual players talking about their surprise picks. Now is the time where we would actually be able to see those from players.
I expect the Urgot to be banned. There it is. Team Vitality now. What will be that first pick? Officio reading off a few of the ones we've seen.
Kai'Sa would be the normal one, but this is actually a first time we get a Sion first pick. We already saw here during the countdown that Sion is actually the top laner with the worst win rate so far during the group stages.
And there have been kind of 2 major strategies, of course, 1-3-1 split push, 5v5 team fighting. Sion is a centerpiece for the 5-on-5 hard engage. Just running that Sion ultimate straight down the lane to get your hard engage.
And I think Vitality were like, we want Uzi to play Kai'Sa, so we can try and pick something super strong early that can try and bully Uzi. And I'm just going to call Draven already, because when Vitality needs something spicy from the bot lane, it's Draven.
All right, what percentage
plays in the regular season
would you give me on Varus then? Because I think it's between those 2 probably.
Taking bets.
Yeah, I mean, he tried the Varus last time. You are correct. It didn't work. I'm saying 70% on Draven.
Okay.
I got 30% to go somewhere else.
Well, we do and have been talking about that Ornn on our side of things and how it's just the ability to initiate from anywhere. Royal Never Give Up gives kind of a card for themselves in any late game troubles, and a Thresh and Rise on the side of Team Vitality.
All right, so Vitality getting a possible, side lane threat in the Rise for Jizuke. But as you said, RNG have locked in some of the most consistent and stable team fighting in the entire game. Ornn, very easy to land the long-range engage, and Kai'Sa can follow up on it so quickly, plus has the added benefit of being the best scaling marksman in the game for the best marksman in the game.
Yeah, I have to say, based on what we've already seen on stage from Vitality, then I'm scared when I see their first 3 picks compared to RNG's. Because Vitality are playing a lot of these where it's not easy engages, it actually requires a lot of map setup if you really want to utilize especially Thresh down in the support role. Jacktroll has not found a lot of success on the champion, but it is screaming to me they want to win bot lane, and that's the goal, and not necessarily big team fights.
I would say one added benefit of having Thresh that you don't get from other supports is, of course, the Dark Passage, where you can save members of your team that are playing aggressively. So, let's say Jizuke does go super deep, trying to, 1v2 some people. We can have a possibility of a Thresh Lantern coming to save them, or it's very good in 1-3-1 scenarios too, if you can trail one of the split pushers and pull them back.
Now, with Nocturne banned, we have to see what Kikis wants to play. He took Kindred last time he was against the Gragas, and that was not too successful for him. I just want to see if he actually goes for something like an Olaf instead, where his goal is to try an early gank and try to be a bully, win skirmishes against the Gragas specifically on his side, and use that to snowball, especially bot lane.
I think that is definitely the key for Vitality. It's trying to win early because of the champions already selected here by RNG, plus the way that they have been playing the game. Uzi, obviously giving a shout out to the crowd.
Gragas support it is.
Lee Sin being locked in for Kai'Sa.
And this is one of the players that you get very excited for a Lee Sin. You got your 70% Officio. Congratulations.
Let's go. This is fights everywhere.
Whenever Vitality needs something spicy in the bot lane, it's Draven.
All right, plus we have a very quick lock in here. Xin Zhao into Lee Sin. Xin Zhao, especially if you can get any sort of early gold, is a very good duelist, can win the 1v1 heads up. Lee Sin has the advantage, of course, of the mobility, though. A lot better jungle possibilities as far as gank pathways. So Karsa definitely does have a lot of options.
But look at RNG's comp. Like, it is insanely strong, massive front line, tons of engage. Draven does not have a dash. He can run fast, yes, but there are so many things that can actually reach him in the backline. And Vitality's peel is Flay from Jack Troll and his box. That's basically it.
Yeah, you talk about some of the easiest hard engage in the game. Ornn and Lissandra are right there. You know, Lissandra has point and click basically. Plus, we've seen Lissandra's been taking the Aftershock rune to get that added bit of tankiness to survive around those team fights. And you're really just trying to create some area for Uzi to work with.
I'm looking at a win lane, win game kind of setup for Vitality with this draft here. They have strong 1-3-1 with the Rise. It is the bread and butter pick for Jizuke specifically. They have Draven, Thresh, bot lane to try and win that lane. You have to get ahead, especially bot side, if you're going to take down RNG.
The first highlight play I ever saw of Jizuke from the European LCS was his Rise in the bot lane, styling on multiple players. We'll see if he can do it on this stage because we're at Worlds and this is going to be the end of Group B. It all starts today.
Down the line of the roster is about to be on the rift for Vitality versus RNG. Can RNG go undefeated throughout the group? They have put up a powerhouse showing so far, but if any team were to put a mark in that armor, in that run, it would be Vitality here. A strong early game could sweep RNG off their feet. Much less kills coming from this team, from the LPL. A league plagued with death everywhere, fighting at every moment, every turn of the game. Can Vitality put that game under their belt and throw RNG off? We'll have to see. We're on to the rift. Vitality versus RNG.
And I actually really like the point you're making there, Riv, about RNG coming from a league where there is typically a lot of action, a lot of stuff happening. And that's actually one of the scariest things about them.
They're ready.
They're not that kind of team who's not used to playing against aggressive early game teams. No, they do this all the time. They know how to deal with these kind of guys.
Yep.
And that makes it even harder for Vitality to actually get ahead early.
And out to that line of scrimmage. We'll have to see if this aggressive team of Vitality can get at that any early information to make the early moves and try and get under the skin of RNG.
All right, we've got Aftershock on both Lissandra as well as the Gragas. Of course, your support Gragas does have a lot of burst combinations you can do, especially as you were pointing out Deficio on Draven, who puts a shining light on the ground where he has a high chance of walking to pick up the axes. But of course, the power of Draven and the reason for these picks and even some of the bans we've seen at Worlds is the flat AD that he can get and the strength in lane trying to go toe-to-toe. And actually now he might actually find Ming's toes. They do scare him off down the river.
So we have to remember, last time these guys played each other, Vitality tried to go for a Varus Thresh lane, so also a very strong lane. It was against Uzi's Tristana. But they got ganked very early on by Karsa. They had to blow summoners, Jack Troll died. It kind of fell apart from there and Uzi won the lane. So I think they were already trying to check what information can we get early. Kick is actually coming down. They're gonna kill the ward here. He's not showing, oh, he actually showed.
Yeah, I mean,
even too early.
As soon as Vitality killed that ward, we have actually seen so many. Never mind.
Oh no, Cabozard!
This is more interesting because this is something that normally you only see in solo queue. Is Sion actually farming up the blue buff and Gromp at the same time? Because you get so much life back from the auto attacks as a zombie, you start out with a lot of golden experience. This is such a cool way for Vitality to pull this out against RNG, the 3-0 team in the group.
And that's why Kiki showed. He didn't actually care. I thought he was going to gank bot lane. So I was like, you could wait a little bit and then show up. But he just wanted the blue buff so they could triple buff RNG.
And Karsa is headed over for, you know, the possible answer. But he's already showed in lane. Cabozard has the blue buff, so they should know.
Oh, what's happening now, Kikis? That's a level 2. No. Just do Gromp. I'm getting too excited here.
Yeah, you're...
I'm like, Kikis, gank that bot lane, man.
I'm glad that you're not like the in-game comms coach for Vitality, because you would have like maybe coached them into a bit of a mistake there, and they calm it down a bit. Kikis just continues with the counter jungling. Intelligent decision here. They don't want to risk diving too early. Now he's level 3. Now you can go, Deficio.
Got another
here we
wave
go.
crashing in. Ming looks like to be the focus. Teleport on the bot lane. Could turn Vitality away. 2 shots on the Jack Troll. Heal comes out from Attila. Oh, the Void Seeker! Uzi is a god!
Oh, nobody blocks the W here. Uzi finds the counter on the way out.
Well, that tower dive really sucked.
Man, you were jumping up and down waiting for it, though.
I was looking for the burst damage. Kikis realized when he saw the TP get out. Jack Troll, however, I think he got CC'd for a moment under the turret, then flashed after. And he was not ready for Uzi to land that skill shot. And that's a classic Uzi thing. Under pressure, he still gets a kill.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice shot. Also, trying to keep that in your mind of, oh, we're running array right now. Can, Attila get over there to try and block it? Doesn't come through, and it was Ming with the body slam, I believe.
Yeah, I think
who
so.
locks up Jack Troll here.
Uzi actually levels up to get that, too.
There we go. Body slam comes in. Jack Troll flashes out, and here Attila could go in and block
he's
it.
so close. Jack Troll runs up the river to try and dodge. You can tell Attila chasing him there. He's like,
Here.
come back, come back.
I think, honestly,
Beautifully done.
as you said there, they just didn't think about the fact that Uzi still had that ability and could actually use it, because otherwise
Right.
they would have just stayed together.
All right, let's bring it back to reality, though. This early, well, never mind.
I don't know, Kobe.
Let's push it ahead.
Vision's gonna show it. Flashes are still there for Ming and Uzi. They didn't have to use too much other than Ignite on that dive, so a little pressure from Jizuke and still kick us to the bot side.
Unfortunately for you, Deficio, the reality of the situation is that we have Uzi with the first blood money on this Kai'Sa, and they've been able to avoid the second pass from Vitality 2.
And you know what? I'm actually happy, because I love to see when a bot lane can get, ganked level 3, another gank set up level 4, they have actually planned the vision, they're playing respectful, and they're not dying to it. They haven't even used flashes yet. And that's what we talked about coming into this game. This bot lane, they've played against this style probably a million times already back in the LPL. So they're not surprised to see what Vitality are doing, and that is outplaying it.
Definitely agree. And they do have a CS lead here for Attila on Draven. He has been able to keep up his stacks. Here we go, though. A little bit of a roam through the river as RNG are going to be able to take the Scuttle Crab, and Kikis has placed himself on top side with a bit of a change of plans.
Yeah, hoping to find Karsa possibly squeaking into a lane. Letme's pushing forward on, still has flash for himself. Nice searing charge to get to safety, but he may still have the flash. Goes in for the attacks. He's gonna go ahead and just stay for this one.
Yeah,
and the kill to Kikis.
Let me for a moment, I was like, should I flash? Then he got knocked up, and he saw the Q from Capuchat, which still might have been able to attack him on the end. And he just saved the flash instead, but he did go down. Kikis finally finds a kill.
Kikis is a guy that we should talk about because in the group stage, he hasn't had as much success as he did, during the regular season for Vitality. But here, he keeps it up, changes his plan, goes topside after all the bottom lane focus, and is rewarded. Vitality do get a counter kill.
You're looking at a jungler that has that 100% kill participation on first blood, and that's one of the ways Vitality can get going. You see it happening from Kikis in the jungle, and he has been omnipresent so far. You can see the stats on your screen right now.
Yeah, but what's actually a little bit concerning for Vitality and Kikis is his K+A at 15 is not very impressive.
Very true.
He is part of a lot of things, but he's not always getting something out of it. That's early Sion bot lane.
Cabochard, the party bot with everybody here from Vitality. They push off RNG, but don't get too much, and now it's probably going to be a dance around the dragon unless they just give up the pressure.
Kasa is not done.
Oh, Jack Troll, you don't want the honey fruit that bad, buddy. Jack Troll goes down, a kill picked up for Ming.
Here's what's happening for Vitality. They're basically saying, as a team, we can't win late game, guys. All in bot lane, but do it all the time.
Ooh, very nice. Frozen Tomb, that's Kikis. Could be going down, and yes!
They keep getting caught on the way out, too, after their passes through bottom lane. This is the big advantage for RNG. They keep collapsing and punishing this focus on the bottom lane and the huge commitment.
Yeah, and when you, as a team, have basically said, we need to go all in to try and get a lead against Uzi, you end up overcommitting because you're not actually planning the plays very well. The first tower dive was extremely risky and was never really gonna work for them. This Sion ulti from Capuchat bot lane the wave wasn't in a good spot. Uzi and Ming had already just walked away.
I need to bring up a point that you talked about earlier, Deficio, which was RNG and being used to playing against very early aggressive teams in the LPL and having a history of success in dealing with it and countering it. So here we see an all-in. You've got 5 members of Vitality committing to the bottom lane, and even though they do use the Thresh, the Dark Passage, to get him out, they don't fully disengage here. Jack Troll stopping to pick up some of those honey fruit, and Ming is able to find him once again on this Gragas.
This gets pretty crazy too, because now RNG pushes in with 0 vision. Obviously they know they have the power, but they are just playing inside the minds of Vitality at that point.
Because that's kind of the interesting thing here. RNG, they're respecting what Vitality can do, but Vitality are not respecting what RNG can do back to them. So when they're done with their play, they're like, surely everything is now paused. Nothing more is going to happen. But RNG's like, well, we can just keep chasing you and kill you because you completely overextended.
Definitely a balance of power here in the swing. RNG doing a very good job of punishing a lot of these openings, but Vitality continue to swing. After we saw Kikis fail on the bottom side earlier, he just went top side and was able to find something for himself. Here, though, Jizuke now handed off the blue, and they continue to farm.
Obviously, it gets harder and harder. When you start level 1 and it's dead even in gold and you try and go for these aggressive plays, there's a decent chance they can work. Now that you've failed a few of them and you've given over a couple of kills, one for Uzi, one for Casa, the next time you do the same, there's an even lower chance it might actually work for you. So it feels like the next big play needs to succeed for Vitality if they actually want to start this snowball.
Also, it's very interesting to note, you see the ward placements for both teams. Vitality's wards on the top side do see Karsa right now, but because there's been so much action bottom side, RNG are predicting more of that from Vitality, and they do have a lot of defensive vision in that area to try and set up another counter.
So we had Kabusha recalling top. Last time he did, he ulted bot lane, but he was called by Let Me and RNG instantly. This time he is just going back to top lane. He does have TP, but now there's a PF sword on Attila, so now you have proper damage. Problem is, Aftershock Gragas, as you highlighted before, Kobe, pretty hard to kill instantly. Same with the Lissandra mid lane with the Aftershock. Like, it's more like utility-based than pure damage, but it just makes you really tanky when you do go in and land that CC. Kicks is around bot side. The actual flash is available. Flash flay onto Ming, and then you can actually hook Ming when he's trying to body slam out.
Important to watch kind of the positionings of the players too. As he moves up like that, RNG do back off, kind of expecting a play. Karsa during that time invades, does steal away most of the Raptor camp, and has a level lead over Kikis.
Watching to see that play on the bot side. You called it, Deficio. Kikis would hover there. It's about 280 stacks for Attila right now as he gets built up. So cashing those in could be that comeback they need, or at least the level out. At this point in the game, a few overloads from Jizuke to Xiaohu, as you have a hover from Cabochard just on the top side of the map. That top lane, 96 to 93, so the tanks could still be very useful for either side as this game goes on.
Yeah, we obviously know the Ornn ulti in team fights will be a lot easier to use than the Scion, but Cabochard still has a lot of ways to impact the game now. If he can roam from that top lane, we might get another play bot side. It's a collapse.
So aggressive, just clearing vision, not knowing what's actually on the other side of the wall. Vitality squeaks out of that one with a dark passage from Jack Troll.
Yeah, the Thresh defensive play is definitely coming in handy. Pulls him out of that one. A lot of control wards dropped there by RNG, but no chase actually successful here, and it will be a complete reset.
Kikis is still around bot lane. I think he's in the brush down here. Here we go. Gotta hit that one.
Jack Troll just missing off on the right side. Kikis again, known to be on the bottom. We'll see if this gives Karsa any time to move around. He's hovering mid. Looks like they might want Jizuke, but they give Xiaohu a bit of pressure to push that mid lane.
So around mid, Xiao can now move as well, and that's kind of the thing. It's not just Uzi and Ming Vitality are dealing with on that bottom side, because Xiao is constantly sitting with TP threat, and the fact he can push and roam. Same thing with Kazu's been hovering around bot side as well just to defend, so it feels like RNG kind of knew the game plan from the start. Was like, they're gonna go bot lane, we need to defend the bot lane, and then we win.
Xiaohu hovering as well in the river, knowing his mid lane's cleared. They're trying to create opportunities across the map for RNG. Falling a little bit behind, possibly their 15-minute mark. RNG is #1 in turrets taken, just about 2.3 at 15 minutes. No team is even close to that right now, so expect some very explosive moments here to come up between 15 and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as we said before, like the next big fight kind of will decide, at least the entire mid game. Like, if Vitality actually win that fight and get a kill on Attila with all his stacks, he will get really far ahead on the Draven and can start just being a huge bully. But if it's an RNG win, they probably get a bot lane or mid lane turret from it as well. And then we know that teamfighting comp is already going to be superior.
Does feel like there is a bit of a timer on this game as far as the income. And we've already hit kind of the first breakpoint. It is the Rage Blade completed for Uzi on the Kaisa because of the early gold he got from that first blood. He's been able to get that very quickly, only 13 minutes now, and RNG are already looking to set up.
Just about 500 gold above his opponent Attila in that lane, and here a little love towards the top side of the map, and RNG is going to stay on the other side for now, pushing bot as they put pressure on to Cabashard. We'll call the Forge God here to get the minions and him off the turret.
Yeah, so this is like a swap now from Vitality. They're not just aiming to kill the bot lane, they actually go top.
It's not.
Attila!
Let me. Gonna be dove pretty hard here. He gets the flash out, actually a few more hits. The heal coming through. Attila does cash in there. Big money for the Draven.
695 there does pop up, and they wanted to bring Attila right in next to that cash in, and he does get it off of Let Me, but RNG are answering. Bottom side, they get the turret and the dragon.
And that's just a trade I feel like Vitality had to make. If you don't feel comfortable trying to kill the bot lane, you need to find a kill somewhere else. So they accept losing first turret and the Drake. They get Rift held and their own turret. They need to go back and defend this one, though.
Yeah, a little bit of extra tempo for RNG in that one because Vitality wants to move to the top side, and Uzi was able to get a decent amount of gold off the turret. They do save the secondary one here, though it sustained considerable damage.
See how Vitality and Cabashard respond to this now. Map's a bit more open. RNG has been able to pretty much flourish inside the jungle of Vitality. Getting in, attacking, not even leaving too many wards, but on these last passes, they have been able to start leaving that vision. That could mean big things for RNG.
So right now with Attila getting the kill, he's slightly ahead of Uzi in gold. It's not by a lot, and that's obviously because Uzi got the bot lane turret, has out-farmed him a bit, got the first blood as well. So a lot of things going in Uzi's favor, but at least Attila managed to catch up in gold. Now the goal the next 5 minutes is get him ahead, so he can actually start stopping Uzi from doing stuff.
And I think as well right now, Vitality are going to be able to use some of their creative tools, right? You have Rise Realm Warp now level 11 here for Jizuke. He has had a pretty smooth start to this game. Hasn't gone down. Actually, Cabashard, though. We'll see Karsa jumping over the wall and know that there are several members of RNG focusing and looking to finish off this turret.
Yeah, because look here. Vitality sent the bot lane back toward top lane, but they've already killed the turret, and there's no Rift held. It's already killed by Vitality from before, so now Uzi can continue pushing bot, and then he can either go mid and apply pressure there, or he can stay and take the turret bot side.
I love that. All of the wards and the resources give Uzi just this line of security through the bot as mid is pushed. Vitality, they want to attack. Karsa's just on the left. Let's track Jack Troll's target. He does get Karsa. They're going to actually be able to hit in Xiaoku as well. He's trying to crawl himself to safety. Jack Troll under the turret. Taking aggro, goes down as the Forge God comes out. One's knocked up as Attila hits the ground. Can't fire in any more damage. And here comes Unstoppable Onslaught. Uzi gets hit. Half of HP comes in, and Jizuke and the team, they missed the Realm Warp, and they can't even get in as they chase Uzi. It really wouldn't have helped, but Jizuke is going hard. The overload just short, and Vitality cannot get the kill. They go deeper for Let Me, and that's going to lose them Kickus. What's this going to be worth for Vitality? Very good as they take down Karsa as well. And what chaos that Vitality thrives in.
And a key Rift Herald activation. They can hard push with this one. Get the secondary turret out of mid lane. What drive! You could see the focus in Jizuke's eyes as he went for Uzi and barely missed out by 50 HP.
This is the first time it's Vitality actually catching RNG too far up in the lane. They were pushing mid, didn't realize exactly where Attila and Jack Troll would be, and when they showed up, they get to them. Even with the turret alive, we had the flash hook and everything, fight was on.
This is the charm of Team Vitality. Yeah.
It's not done. It's not done.
The fights keep coming. All right, Uzi now is actually alone in lane. There's a lot of fog of war around him.
He just used the speed steroids, so he doesn't have much to escape this one. Jizuke on the right. Cabashard coming in. Teleport's going to be there from Xiaohu. Looks like Ring of Frost could lock down Cabochard, not in range for that W from Lissandra, and they get Uzi out alive.
All right, they respected TP. Also, they didn't 100% know where the rest of RNG would be, so they end up stepping away from this one. Smart. Long cooldown now for Xiaohu, obviously on the Lissandra. He is staying topside. Jackal is in the river roaming around bot lane.
Always finding Jack Troll in these weird spots, but they are on to Let Me. He is getting dove over and over this game. Vitality has their scuba gear on for the top laner, and Let Me's down again.
Count them, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 kills for Attila, and it's not done yet. They can't go Riv.
Decimating smash into Xiaohu on the top. Karsa, however, creeping in. They see the ward on the side, and this one's going to diffuse quite fast. 18 minutes in, things are heating up.
Yeah, and RNG gonna lose bot lane turret. Attila will get all the gold for himself here. He's probably going to push into the next one before someone can defend it.
We'll see this again, your Ace Predator replay.
All right, here we go. Jack Troll, he flashes in. He goes for the line hook with 2 possible targets. Does hit Karsa, but again, this is Lee Sin. Karsa turns around, kicks him under the turret. However, on the left side of your screen there, Vitality finish off the counter kill onto Xiaohu, and then this is where it gets exciting.
Yeah, Cabochard kept Uzi busy for the entire fight, and then also hits him here. Jizuke tries to predict where he's going. Okay, he doesn't actually end up putting the Realm Rope the right place, but then he chases.
I was so surprised by that Siren damage too, but look at this. Oh, that's gotta be barely double-digit HP left for Uzi. In the end, they finish up the kill onto Let Me. In comes Karsa, and they chase him off as well.
Yeah, it's actually interesting how Ming was kind of split. He wanted to help Uzi at first, so he didn't join the initial fight very much. Then he couldn't help Uzi properly, and they were kind of just running after Cabochard, being like, wait for me, I want to be part of this. And he ended up not doing anything.
Man, Jizuke is so close there. He had the calculations almost down. I was also surprised how much that level 11 Scion ultimate damage
That was a big wow.
Cabochard had just hit level 11, hits the ult on the level 10 Kaisa there and had a huge explosion. But as excited as we're getting for this push from Vitality, they do need to kind of keep up this pace against RNG, because RNG are that kind of looming distance late game 5-on-5 powerhouse.
What makes it possible for them to keep that pace up? What do they either need to change or keep doing?
Well, they have 1-3-1 already. Jizuke is top lane, Cabochard's bot lane, so that's good. If they want to keep fighting, whenever you push the side lanes, don't stay, go together. And then start looking at objectives. Drake is spawning now. Baron is alive as well. There are 2 ways you can then force around one of those big ones. Probably the Baron is the one RNG would contest and not the Drake. That's where you can guarantee a fight.
I think this also could be a good study in what to do when you are facing an early disadvantage. RNG have had such an incredibly successful year off of stuff like this. You can see the defensive vision already. They're putting in their red quadrant of their jungle behind Baron. Karsa is even going over the wall here to try and threaten Jizuke, the split pusher, and get some sort of vision down for themselves if Vitality push a little bit too aggressively.
Yeah, Vitality needs to be careful when they're doing stuff on the map. On the other side, Jizuke can't do anything topside because RNG will punish him. And he knows this right now. He's being very patient, but then he steps forward.
He does step out a step too far, throws the shield down from Seraph's Embrace, but it's only going to be so long for the team to do things on the other side of the map. A nice run though, the dance around. Jizuke almost coming up with a kill in the 2v1, but Karsa comes up with a quick kick.
That was a much needed kill for RNG. They take out the big split pusher and relieve some of this mid-game pressure that Vitality are putting out.
And because Vitality are the kind of team where they will get caught out because they're all trying to look to push maybe when they shouldn't, I actually think the safest way for them to snowball this game is not to just stay only split pushing. No, use the fact you have a really fed AD carry and actually try and fight right now. Later in the game, once Uzi is a lot more farmed, you can't probably win 5 versus 5 and you have to stick to split push. But for now you can, just because your Draven is getting all the kills and has all the gold. So play around him.
Especially if first they're able to push out a side wave like Cabochard just did,
then group, yes.
and try and look for, one of those flanks. Here's another look though. Karsa, the patience of this guy. He spent the last 30 seconds hopping over the back of Baron Pit, sitting on a control ward, waiting for Jizuke to step too far out. And then once he does, Jizuke fights to the very bitter end there, but he's not going to be able to get out of that one.
Yeah, let me swap to heal, or had heal at least on the Ornn with the spell book and actually use that to make sure our Karsa did not fall too far down. That was really terrible what I just said there. Anyway, Karsa didn't die. He got healed. Good stuff.
6-6 on that kill score. 22.5 minutes in, and I think RNG is going to feel a little bit better about fighting. Xiaohu picks up that Zanya's, making it so much harder to take down Lissandra. And they can make a few more of those moves in the fight. Take a little bit longer to set up. It's just how long is Vitality going to give them at this point? Vitality has been in RNG's face, constantly pushing, constantly pressuring. Here, moving the vision forward, 5 strong inside RNG's jungle.
And this is exactly what we just talked about. At some point, start grouping here around Attila and see if you can get him in a good spot to fight.
Yeah, they're looking for possible Scion engages or Thresh hooks from either of their players in the jungle where the corridors are much smaller and the likelihood of getting that pick is quite a bit higher. But look at RNG again. They've sent Xiaohu on the Lissandra with teleport down bottom lane, and they're pushing out that side lane while Vitality are making this effort around Baron.
So will they actually just start it to say, you know what, RNG, you need to show up. It's on now. There's a few wards behind. They've spotted RNG now, but there's actually not a ward now to see exactly what's going on. Jackal is fishing. They can just try and finish here.
Smites are there for both. Teleports coming in from Xiaohu as well as the Void Seeker looks to hit his prey. And they will peel off of Baron for now for both teams.
Yeah, they wanted the TP from Xiaohu. They got it, and then they disengaged. They didn't want to risk Karsa stealing.
And people have been, fairly critical of mid-game objective decisions from Vitality, but that's exactly how you want to execute it. You get that teleport cooldown, and you pull off. You don't risk the 50-50 this early.
Also with double smite on the side of RNG because of the spellbook for Let Me. So that was a very good call on the side of Vitality. Now they just need to reset the map, go back out, and they can set up the same kind of play if RNG are not around the Baron.
All right, Shizuke's back out to the split push on that rise on top side, and the rest of Vitality are trying to catch up.
There is a real scary ward behind him as he leaves top lane, but it looks like they're going to put some vision in the jungle for themselves, or actually get it cleared at this point. A little bit of the breather moment for both teams. 2 minutes on that Ocean Drake coming up as Baron still very much alive, and it looks like both teams are giving it a little attention now.
But it's kind of crazy with how bad this game started for Vitality. Like, they completely failed bot lane, they died, they didn't get any kills, and then they still managed to find their way back when they swapped to top side, looked for a play mid later, and got a ton of kills for Attila.
Yeah, you do have to credit their willingness to throw everything at that mid lane. When we saw them push so heavily with the Rift Herald, that was the surprising kind of eye-opening moment for them, where they really got this mid-game lead. Now, though, they really need to continue to use this because, as you keep cautioning against, Uzi continues to scale up. And we said in Champ Select, the ease of the 5-on-5 team fight with Lissandra and Ornn leading it.
Right.
Seems like it will be easy for RNG to pick their moment once they're ready.
Yeah, because they have a lot of ways to stop Attila from auto-attacking. And that's the key thing. It's not about just preventing him from like hitting hard on you. No, it's actually the fact that you stop him from even doing anything. He has to dodge Ornn ultis. He has to then get rid of Lissandra when she goes in. She will hourglass after. He's not hitting her. He has a Gragas ulti. There's a lot of ways to stop him.
It's going to make his positioning very important. He does have a QSS, but also him versus Jack Troll. I like to see the Thresh a decent distance away to allow maybe a repositioning within the team fight to dodge things like Sign, Ultimate that are a bit slower, so you don't have to burn cooldowns on everything that comes your way.
Really tempting a fight here. Cabochard continues to put himself out, but you see the vision game being played back and forth. The ward wars, basically, as you said, Kobe, looking for a hook. Jack Troll, one over the wall, that could be another CC crowd control. They're looking for that one advantage. Oh, Cabochard, a little scary there inside a minion wave. But they have Dark Passage, and they have started Baron.
Once again, it's on here, but RNG, all 5 members, they are around. Vitality don't have the easy engage. It is like a Sign ulti or something, or a hook from Jack Troll. And it's kind of what happened, what we talked about here. Like, after the 2 got caught in side lane, they said, okay, playing 1-3-1 is difficult. We think RNG can punish us here, so we just grew. Like, it is actually not always the most optimal way to play this early on in the game. Oh, let's see what happens here.
Cabochard, Ring of Frost locks him down for a moment. Jack Troll gets Ming with the play, and they hook Xiaohu. He's forced to do Frozen Tomb on himself. Sanyals will be there after as well as he goes low. Karsa force out with the safeguard. Beautiful hook on a shot. Uzi's finally available. Ming goes down after. Vitality's on fire. Karsa's taking damage from Cabochard as he flashes forward. The Soul Furnace takes him down. And they are going to be able to push only a little bit. No waves are with them as Vitality is just sieging through turrets.
Against the MSI champions, Vitality now have complete control of the map. It is just Uzi and Let Me, their job to try and stop this Baron. Vitality are going, and this will be a critical moment.
We kept saying, hey, look for these fights here. You have a fed Draven. You want to try and fight before RNG reaches late game. It was hard for them to get it, but it started with Cabochard and then Jack Troll, 2 hooks in a row.
Jack Troll landing them over and over. Xiaohu was the recipient of many of them. And let's take another look at this fight from the beginning to Fischio.
And this is how Vitality Baron dances. They look for a fight around it. First hook connects onto Xiaohu after he has to jump back with the claw. Everyone engages, the fight is on. Uzi's own leading Cabochard. And then, when Xiaohu thinks he can get out, after this hourglass ends, no, Jack Troll finds him again. And that's where you get the first kills.
Insane. They were also able to get Ming. He was the one who got Ming splashed with his own flash play from the Thresh at the beginning. And I think the first hook was also looking for him. In the end, Vitality, they did clean up that Baron. Nobody went to contest, so now they have 2 minutes, 50 seconds left of a Baron power play to pry this base open.
And in Champ Select, we said, when Vitality needs something crazy in the bot lane, it's the Draven. Right now, he's on 4 items. He's 2,000 gold ahead of Uzi, the best AD carry in the world. And he's looking to carry this game.
And they knew RNG wasn't thinking about that. It was Sion, Thresh, and Rise for those first 3 picks. They let RNG
Here we go, mid.
Attila in, and now Attila gets pinched very hard in the mid lane as he gets a little too comfortable.
A critical pick here. That is so surprising once again. Vitality, they still have 4 members with the Baron, so they might look to finish this turret, but that is going to put a damper on their push.
Oh, and that's how you can slow down the game. Baron buff is still up for 2 minutes. Attila will be alive in 30 seconds, but the first push definitely stopped.
You gotta give props to Karsa here on the Lee Sin. Jumps over the Raptor pit wall and Let Me with the long-range Ornn engage is the one to pick that up. But Vitality, they haven't called it off. They're still going with it.
RNG thought everyone would just back away. They're trying to collapse on them now. Kikis is not here. Vitality, you're only 3 players.
Karsa now coming in, home guards from the top lane. Turret's going down. Jack Troll not looking too good in this situation as he will fall. And these small kills going over to RNG as Vitality's getting a little bit each time.
Jack Troll, I believe, pulled himself out of the Realm Warp with his own death sentence. Volunteered himself to go down for the team.
It's all right.
As a sacrifice, I guess. And Vitality, they only get 1 turret. So look at actually the gold value of the Baron power play so far, currently negative after the objective. Oh, he actually got Gragas ulted out. Yep. Not his fault.
Yeah, but Jizuke also did a smart thing. He stepped out of the ulti to dodge the Gragas, so he didn't get CC'd, and then he stepped right back in to make sure it actually still completed.
Thank you very much.
But that play before from Karsa, that's actually the most annoying thing when you play against world-class players. You feel like you're doing everything correct, you feel like you're getting the leads you need, but then one little play from one player can be enough to just stop this entire thing from snowballing further.
Plus, a big reason why the analyst desk was talking so much about Ornn. Ornn was in a very kind of neutral position, not threatening at all, far back in the lane, but the ultimate is such a long range that he could capitalize on Karsa's flank there and allow them to get the pick. Here we go, though. They still have 20 seconds left, so it's probably the last wave.
Yeah, if you're Vitality, you just want that next team fight where your AD carry is still ahead, the Lissandra is not too scary. If you win that fight, you take the entire game. They don't want to slow down. They want to continue the pressure.
That overshield built up on Bloodthirster allows Attila to stand still a little bit more. One of Draven's pain points. Gotta know where the axes are going. A nice hook onto Karsa, beautifully stopping the hit onto Jizuke. They get a quick kill onto him, turning the fight now onto RNG. They are getting wiped off the map, and Vitality's putting on a game clinic right now. Ming tries to get the body slam back in, but he puts himself into a bad spot. He gets locked down. A double kill on the spell flux coming in for Jizuke. It's only Uzi trying to fire in the damage, but it is all for nothing. The inhibitor's going down, and Vitality is looking for the next.
And Vitality with the individual outplays against one of the best teams in the world. They're going to be able to do it. Teleport goes in.
Entirety of Vitality now against Uzi, but he can't do much. The gun is locked, but it's not loaded enough. Vitality pick up the win over Royal Never Give Up.
And that's how you play League of Legends in Europe. You pick a Draven against Uzi, you fail the early game, but it doesn't matter because you find so many good team fights and they never stop.
My God, this team is fun to watch. Non-stop action from Vitality. They are not afraid to make mistakes. It's about how they get up after the mistakes and then make the big play.
Deficio, the other day you said, man, I really wish teams would play like they do in scrims on stage. I think you got it.
Honestly, Jack Troll was insane this game. Jizuke dodges the initial Q attempt there from Karsa. Jack Troll hooks him on the way out, and they're able to just demolish RNG in the 5-on-5 at their doorstep.
And we were all looking at this group coming into the day and saying, RNG 6-0, pretty likely. It's the other 3 teams fighting for second place. This first win now changes everything, because so many things can now happen in this group. Vitality put themselves in a especially good spot to actually grab a second seed, because they've already